Good morning, great morning, wonderful morning, spectacular morning, outstanding morning, magnificent morning, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious morning. Again, the beautiful reminder of choice that you have, that I have, that we all have. And what is that choice about? It's about how we're going to think, about what we're going to make things mean. It's about shifting our perception. Remember, your reality has nothing to do with the facts. Absolutely nothing. It has to do with the meanings that you give those facts, and those meanings lead you onto a vibratory state, and that vibratory state is the attractive force in your life. Now, think about the implications here. You hear me say this many times over and over again. The implications are enormous because vibration is the attractive force in your life. It determines what you're attracted to, what's attracted to you, what you're repelled by, and what's repelled by you. And all of it, again, is stemmed from what's in your mind. And you have control over that. You have this ability to think what you please. And if to think is to form, you can form what you please. Think about that for how much you earn, what you do for work, your lifestyle, your relationships, all of it. See, you get to decide who you are being at this moment. Now, that doesn't mean that that's who you are. It means you get to choose the character you're going to play. There's this beautiful paragraph from Neville that talks about this. Gosh, I love Neville. What you must strive after is being. In order to do, you must be. It is necessary to be. The end of yearning is to be. Your concept of yourself can only be driven out of consciousness by another concept of yourself. By creating an ideal in your mind, you can identify yourself with it until you become one and the same with the ideal, thereby transforming yourself into it. All because of an acceptance of an idea. You can change your life. Now think about that. And here he says something further. He goes, the dynamic prevails over the static. And remember, life is dynamic. Robert Collier talked about that beautifully in The Secret of the Ages, which is the next book that we're going to be studying. And I highly recommend that you do get a copy of that. And we'll provide to you a link where you can get your copy. It's an incredible book. And in The Secret of the Ages, he says basically the same thing here that Neville Goddard says. He says, the ideas that are on the screen of your mind, information is mere static information. It's passive. And that's how most people live their lives, according to keeping it that way. And there's a problem with that. Why? Because life is not static. Life is not passive. Life is dynamic. In other words, there's movement. This is why we've put into play the very first lesson of emergence, the golden rule of application. That's about being dynamic with your thoughts. See, life is dynamic. And here Neville says the dynamic prevails over the static, the active over the passive. One who is a doer is magnetic and is therefore infinitely more creative than any who merely hear. Be among the doers. Be among the doers. Be a doer. And remember, the doer has to do with activity in your mind. It doesn't have to do with the physical part. It's like using this information. This information, again, is static. It's passive. What I share with you, when you do the work, when you apply it in your life, see, that means now you're being a doer. And what will change are the results in your life because of that doing. And that's what we're wanting you to connect with. This is what I've done in my life, what I'm continuing to do in my life, and this is what Dolly has done in her life, what she's continuing to do in her life, and this is what we here at Elevitality are helping people to do in their lives too as well. So be ye a doer. Amazing. All right, so let's go into this, shall we? Let's dive into where it is that we left off. But before we do that, I got one more announcement to make. A reminder for you that there will be no live call tomorrow or Friday because of travel. But that doesn't mean you don't have access to information. You can't use this. You can actually come in to your own private call and listen to some of the other calls. And you know how this works. You listen to something and listen to it again and again and again. Next thing you know, you see something different. And the repetition is where it's at for that. So make sure that you do go into this and still continue to use what we're talking about. And then also, by the way, I need to add in also as well that I just realized that I said that we would continue on Monday, but actually we're going to continue on Tuesday because I travel again on Monday. So we're going to continue on Tuesday. We'll send a reminder out to you. Make sure that you get your copy of The Secret of the Ages and get ready for that. Okay? Sound good? Okay, so type in the comments, I'm ready if you're ready. Type in the comments if you're ready. I'm ready. So you know what? We're going to move on that. All right, here we go. Now let's use this. Now here again, we're in Christian Larson. Count nothing lost. Count nothing lost. The fact that you have failed, we went over failure before, and it's something to be reminded of that just because you failed doesn't mean you're a failure. Okay. So the fact that you have failed to get the lesser proves conclusively that you deserve the greater. Let that one sit in. Isn't that cool? Think about that. So therefore, dry those tears and go in search of the worthier prize. Forget about that. Okay, you failed. Get back up. Move forward. Let's all type that in the comments. Always move forward. Always move forward. Dry those tears. When you fail, dry those tears. And go in search of the worthier prize. Count nothing lost. Even the day that sees no worthy action done may be a day of preparation and accumulation that will add greatly to the achievements of tomorrow. Many a day was made famous because nothing was done the day before. Ooh, think about that perspective. I'm going to say that again. Many a day was made famous because nothing was done the day before. Know what you want and continue to want it. Now, you know how we speak of this, okay? I would say know what you want and then start living from is what it actually should say. But still, you get the message with regards to what he's talking about. Connect with the ideal. You will get it if you combine desire with faith. The power of desire, when combined with faith, becomes invincible. Some of the principal reasons why so many fail to get what they want is because they do not definitely know what they want, or because they change their wants almost every day. You know, so fascinating is in the third lesson, we talk about dreaming big and being specific about what you would love for your life. Now, think about what he's saying here. He's saying that you have power when you know exactly what that is. Clarity gives you power. Write it out. Put it on a goal card. Make sure that the image is clear. Don't be like most people, because most people, they, first of all, don't know what they want. You ask them, what do you want? I don't know. And they say, want this, then they want this. They want this, they want this, they want this, want this. They're all over the place. Their mind's scattered. They don't have power. Why? Because they're not locked in. Now think about that for you. Maybe with regards to how much you want to earn. Do you know what that is? It's not enough to say, I want to be rich. I want to earn more money. No, that doesn't work. That's not specific. I mean, think about that. I want to earn more. Okay. I want more money to come into my life. Okay, here's $1. Is that what you wanted? Wait, it solved that. You weren't specific. Notice how the vagueness doesn't give you any power. But if you're specific about it, you lock into it, you become one with it, guess what? You have power. And if you're loyal to it, boy, it goes even further. Now, the fact that you have failed to get the lesser proves conclusively that you deserve the greater. Most people interpret failure as evidence that they are not enough. And boy, have I fallen into that one before. That the goal was unrealistic. And boy, I'm going to say that never, ever, ever set goals that are realistic. If you set a realistic goal, then you're going to invite into your life more of the same. Do you want more of the same? No, you don't. And besides that, the purpose of a goal in its essence is to grow. It's not to get the thing. You want to grow, set an unrealistic goal. You'll grow. I guarantee it. So again, most people interpret failure as evidence that they are not enough, that the goal was unrealistic, that they should lower their expectations and settle for something more reasonable. That interpretation is not just inaccurate, it is the precise cause of the continued limitation it appears to be describing. Failure at a lesser is not a verdict, it's a redirection. Underline that. Failure is not a verdict, it's a redirection. Failure, when it happens, it's feedback. It's not a defining moment about who you are. Remember, who you are is this magnificent creative being. When you act on something and the result shows up, it doesn't define who you are, it just defines how you were thinking to get that result. And you can change how you're thinking to change the result. So again, failure at the lesser level is not a verdict. It is a redirection. The dissatisfaction that follows a failed attempt at something smaller than what you are truly capable of is not a sign that you should stop. And isn't it interesting how easy it is to succumb to, oh, I'm just going to stop. I'm just going to give up. That feeling is strong. It's misinterpreted. And because of that misinterpretation, what happens? Most people say stop. So again, it's not a sign that you should stop. It is the signal of a being whose nature is always for expansion and fuller expression. See, that's what it's. Think about it. It's a signal that's coming from your very essence, that dissatisfaction that's there. And if you're able to see that, big things will change inside. The failure did not happen because you are not enough. It happened because you are more than what you are reaching for. Ooh, that's so good. Now, the instruction to know what you want and to continue to want it addresses one of the most common and least discussed reasons why most people do not see results, not lack of effort, not lack of knowledge, inconsistency of desire. They want one thing Monday and something else different by Friday. They hold a vision until it feels difficult, and then they exchange it for a more comfortable one. How many of you have fallen prey to that? Right here. And it's very easy to do that. See, what's causing that? What's causing that is the paradigm. And most people don't even know that they even have a paradigm. They don't even know what a paradigm is. And that paradigm is there, it's running, it's being enforced by your subconscious, which is what's really leading to that shift. The whole point being is that it's a program that's running that's causing it. So they hold a vision until it feels difficult, and they exchange it for a more comfortable one. And the subconscious, which requires consistent impression over time to accept a new idea as normal, never receives a sustained signal it needs to reorganize around the new vision. See, what's missing is Dolly's new favorite word, which is diligence. See, this is precisely what lesson 3 of emergence, dreaming big, crafting your own goal, introduces a single goal that the participant carries without changing for the entire 24 weeks of the program. Desire combined with faith, held consistently over time, becomes the invincible force this passage describes. This is not philosophy. It is the law operating exactly as it always does. And that's pretty awesome. Only when you use it, though. Now, just realize that, hey, we're still live streaming. And for those of you who are live streaming right now and you're feeling this and would love to use this in your life, then do yourself a favor and decide right here, right now, with whatever you've got, to register for Master Your Mind so you can access the rest of this call and the replays. You'll thank yourself later. So now let's continue.